Okay, so we're back. What I've decided to do is take a break from working this lock here. I'm going to, the lock is done. I just need to do the trigger. I'm going to hold off on the trigger for a while. What I'm going to do right now is I'll probably inlet or install the barrel lugs, and then after I get the trigger done, I'll drill in the Tang bolt that goes through here all the way down out the back, and then I'll probably install the ramrod guides too. But for now, well, yeah, I'm going to do all that stuff before this gun is built. But for now, what I decided to do is I was looking at my butt plate here, and it was all pitted, and it looked kind of like that, but it had a bunch of pits, and it was really ugly. So what I did, I kind of shined it up. You can see where it was hammered. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get those little things out, those little dents and stuff out of there. I may just leave it the way it is. I suppose that there is a way to get it out, hammering them out over an anvil or something, but I don't know if I want to go through all that trouble. Anyway, I shined it up. I took all the little nicks and divots and stuff out of it, but there's some tool marks that you could still see, you know, from the file, and I need to still sand this down to get those out, and then shine this thing up. But before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and inlet this butt cap. Not sure how to proceed because I've never inletted a butt cap before. This is, in case you guys don't know, this is the first long gun that I've ever built. The previous gun that I built was a pistol, and I built that so I can practice on my gun building experience, and so that I can work on this. And building that pistol really helped a lot as far as the knowledge I gained in working the stock and inletting and stuff like that. But this is the first time I've ever inletted a butt plate, and it looks to be kind of straightforward. You know, you just inlet it in there, but this one's kind of curved, and I'm not sure how I need to proceed with this. You could see that the Tang here is slightly, it's thinner here than it is when it goes up, and I don't know, I'm just staring at it and looking at it and trying to figure out what my first move is. But anyway, I'm going to figure it out, and when I do, I am going to turn the video on and start inletting this. What I'm going to do now, or what I've done, and I'm almost done with it, I've flattened out. There was a lot of extra wood here. You could still see some remnants of it here, but what I'm going to do is flatten it out so this stock is completely flat. And I'm just taking the rasp. I've got a rasp here somewhere. I forgot where I put it. But I'm just rasping it down and flattening it out. There is a slight curve to it, and I'm going to retain that curve, but I'm just going to take off all this excess wood that's here in the middle of it, so that when I put my butt plate on, I know that it's sitting flat and true. So I'm going to continue on flatten this out, and then when I get ready to start inletting, I'll turn the camera on and show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so we're back, and I flattened out the back of the butt plate. I took off a whole bunch of extra wood that didn't need to be there, so it's pretty flat now. And I think I figured out what I'm going to do with this butt plate. You can see here that I bent the Tang up. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to inlet half the Tang, just deep enough to where I needed to get it, so I can slide it in and start inletting the back piece of this butt cap. So it'll you know, be further into the wood, and so I can get this curve here and get the contours of this butt cap the way I want it to be. Okay, and then once I get the back end, I'm going to flip this tang down and inlet the rest of it, because by then I'll know how far I will need to go to get this point properly inletted into the stock. So that's what I'm going to do. Before, this thing was straight. I didn't actually know how far up to do the mortise, because as this thing got closer and closer to its final position, the tip of the butt plate would be moved further and further up. And I wasn't quite sure how I would approach that, but this is the idea that I came up with. And like I said, I'm not sure exactly how to go about doing this, but I'm just going to go like this idea that I just thought of, and I think it might work. Anyway, so I'll get started as soon as I get set up here, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so what I did, I just chiseled out or inletted or hammered out some guidelines with the chisel here, and then I'm going to just scoop out the wood that's in the middle, and then slowly but surely we'll inlet this butt plate tang into the wood, so that I can go ahead and continue on with the back side of this butt plate, or with the stock. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. So I carved out a little area here, and you can see where the red is touching, so I need to clear all that color out of there, and then we'll try it again and see if I can get it to fit. Again, I just put lipstick on the inside and just place the thing on here, and then I'm just going to chisel out all the color that's transferred on to the stock. Okay, looks like I have it pretty much inletted the Tang, at least half the Tang. You could see that it's following the contours. I'm probably going to bend this down just a tad. But you could see that this was the area that I was concerned with. And it turned out that it was okay. It turned out pretty good. No gaps, no openings. The curve came out pretty good. This side of the butt plate here is pretty much flat. I just have to flatten out a little bit more the stock so it'll sit flat on the stock. And then I'm going to complete inletting the rest of the Tang. See, now I could bend it down and I know exactly where it needs to go in order for it to fit. So so there you go. I'll take more pictures and do a little bit more filming when I get close to done. Then I'm going to be drilling the holes for the screws. Okay, so we're back. I went and inletted the rest of the Tang, and you can see here that it fits fairly well. I just have to screw it in place. And I've got the rest of the butt plate, the stock flattened out, so I can shape the plate to the stock rather than shaping the stock to the plate. Anyway, so there you go. Like I said, when I get this thing screwed in, it'll fit a little bit better. And then while it's on the stock, I'll sand it down and file it down to the same contours as the stock, so it'll look, the finish will look a lot neater. Okay, so that concludes this episode of the Northwest Trade Gun Build-Along. Cashstick Boatcraft, thanks for watching.